To another game, another one, Metro
Ugh.
Prime for First Impressions. Now, listen, we reported a couple of weeks ago about the 20-minute preview or whatever you want to call it from that one guy and the irritations that a lot of people felt and how a lot of people was turned off by it. Now there's been some reviews put out by IGN simping and some other people, some real people, some industry people. You can kind of tell when you're listening to either one because they kind of have strong reactions to certain things that's very, very irritating or very, very like what the fuck is this? But let's go through some of the things that's being praised about the game. Visuals, like we said in the last video, this should look good if you're playing on a Switch 2. Supposedly on Switch 1, it doesn't look as good. That's to be expected. It's an older system. And they said though it might not look as good as on the Switch 2, it does run pretty stable. And that is very crucial because I thought this game would run like shit on the Switch 1. And that's still up for debate, I've only like watched and reviewed and looked at a few people's gameplay. Like the game just came out 2 days ago as of this recording. So there's a lot more that could come out. But visuals shockingly clean for Switch hardware. Massive jump from Metroid Prime remasters. Tone is dark. Classic Prime isolation is back, quote unquote, in some cases. Feels heavy, sci-fi, lonely, intense. Gameplay highlights classic first-person exploration, new psychic style powers teased, faster and more aggressive combat. Enemy AI looks smarter. World design feels bigger, more visual, more dangerous. And why does this game hit different? This game was announced in 2017. Oh my god. It was scrapped, then fully rebooted under the Retro Studio. Fans waited 7+ years. Expectations were sky high. And the real, in some cases, in some people, actually was delivered. Real concern. Still no, we haven't really got enough evidence contents put out. Will it hold at 60 frames per second consistently? Will it run better on the Switch 2? I think that's already been answered. Nintendo is staying quiet. They haven't really, I don't know, put out a lot of numbers for this game yet, which, my cousin made a good point because we talked about this offline. Metroid Prime games or Metroid is not one that's Nintendo's biggest selling IPs. It's kind of like a cult classic, a cult favorite. It had this little area of fans, and I guess I mean it's evidence because this IP does not come out as regular as like a Mario or Legend of Zelda game. Hell, even Donkey Kong I think gets more releases than Metroid. Listen, I just have one issue, and I haven't played the game. I'm just gonna be frank because I said I don't really support Nintendo and stuff they're doing with the Switch 2 or anything. Nintendo doesn't get my funds. Like I repeatedly said, I'm pessimistic. I'm jaded. Nintendo sells you the same shit rinsefully. But I will say maybe this is a big enough upgrade for the people that was waiting 7+ years. For me personally, it is not. This game has 15 hours of gameplay and you charged me $70. Who the fuck do you think you are? that's just I don't know. I don't think that's enough value for the 7+ years. You only put out 15 hours of gameplay, and 3 of those hours can be time padded because you have to drive around a empty open world desert for those little green crystals, which is kind of what the fuck. Like that's how that's those sort of certain things where you be like, oh, they padding the time. But listen, I think 15 at $70 is still outrageous. A lot of people have came out and said that the talking sidekick people that you get with, they're not as bad as it was portrayed in that 20 minutes. They do partner up with you. They do talk to Samus, even though Samus doesn't say shit back. But they leave you alone. And there's part of the map where you don't even, you lose complete comms with them. So you still have that lonely, alone exploration time away from side characters. So that listen, I'm happy for that. But it's just not enough for me personally. Like I said, I was waiting. I remember seeing the trailer in 2017, Nothing But the Name. I was like, hell yeah, can't wait to get it. But that was back in 2017. Now in 2025, Nintendo, I just don't have the best relationship with Nintendo in 2025, so therefore I don't support them. But I wanted this game to be great just because I've played Metroid in the past. I've had a lot of fun in Metroid. Samus is my spirit, not spirit animal, but spirit game character because I am heavily antisocial. I don't like talking to people or strangers. So, she embodied a lot of things that I actually do in life. So that's why I love Metroid. It kind of gave me the gameplay I like to play back when I was younger, but I don't think this is a big enough jump. I know a lot of people are probably going to complain and say, "Oh, yes, it is. It looks beautiful." But I'm like, yo, the amount of time it took to push this game out, it could have been more. Like if it would have been like 28 hours, 25 hours of gameplay, then cool. But maybe that's an unrealistic expectation from a Switch game. And that's fine. Hey, that's why I don't put money in Nintendo because it just doesn't give me the value that I'm looking for. And like my cousin has said, I'm very frugal with money and what I choose to give my money to when it comes to this gaming industry because they can be very, very, very nasty in how they manipulate people to pay all this money for a game that was never worth that price tag. And I don't think this is worth the $70 price tag, but I'm not going to continue on. I'm going to let my cousin go, but that's how I feel after seeing other people's impressions of the game. A lot of people, some people are saying, "Hey, this is a good enough. This is good enough. It's okay. It's good for what it is. Take it for what it is and have fun while you play it." While others say it ain't enough and it's not good enough and you should not pay $70 for this game. So there is very much tied. It's not like one side is overpowering the other. When I was researching this, it's kind of split in the middle. But I mean, Nintendo make money either way because on both sides people have bought this game, which is what all they care about. And we'll see. We'll see, but I'll let my cousin go.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't got a lot of shit to say about that. You already know how I feel about first person games, and you already know how I feel about the value versus hours of content versus dollars. I have
But
played it. I have played it. It is a very nice looking ass game.
oh yeah, it look good.
I will not fault them on that. It is a nice ass game. And like my cousin has stated, the Metroid series is not a serious or multi-million selling series for Nintendo. It is not a Zelda. It damn sure ain't no Mario. It is none of those. And even though there is we'll say fan base to not insult y'all. Even though there is a fan base for these games, either you all are not showing up enough in droves to buy these when they come out, or what? Because you can look at the numbers for the Metroid Prime series as a whole. And a lot of y'all.
Well,
And a lot of y'all.
okay,
Now,
hold on,
nearly
hold on,
two.
hold on, hold on.
Mhm.
Because even Metroid is split. Their fan base is kind of split because there's the 2D and then there's this kind of style
There's,
was the
there's
first person.
Yeah,
So there.
I was about to say that. That's what I was about to
Oh,
say.
okay, okay, okay.
There's two fan bases for these. Now, true Metroid lovers are of the side-scrolling 2D game, the original on the NES and all that. I ain't going to get into it because I'm not big on. And then when the GameCube came, they tried to do something different. They made the Metroid Prime games. As far as I know, there's only 4 Prime games. It's in the number. There are more of the side-scrolling games, and even then, yeah, it took nearly 10 years for this. But if I recall, with Metroid Dread that came on the Switch, took a long time to come out as well. That was supposed to be a 3DS title that eventually that just went nowhere, and people were thinking like, "Yo, is this vaporware to get canceled?" I would have to say Nintendo does not have the faith in this franchise as their core audience does. Hence why this was probably phoned in the way it was. You play the game, she's a complete silent protagonist. And I already know people will say, she does not talk. That's how the other games work. Yes, I get that. But it seems like the people who made the game, either they forgot or what, because you have people flat out talking to her. Like they're not just talking, as they're moving along. They flat out are talking to her and she says nothing, or you get a helmet nod. And it's like, that open world, the open space, and choose my words correctly, desert part. Yo, I don't know whose idea it was to make that a thing for the game. Because that's not what this is. it feels like they were making it how it was supposed to be. Stopped it, took it away from, I can't remember who's making it, gave it back to Retro, and was like, yo, you need to make this for a modern audience. Give them what they like, but add, just a little pizzazz and flair. There was no need for that motorcycle. There was no need for the open world. There's no need for none of that. And the majority of the collectibles, or aka power-ups, you get throughout the game, they're kind of, if not the same, or just slightly touched up from the shit you used to get from the other ones. Me personally, I feel this game was announced, and somewhere along the line, Nintendo probably felt like, hey man, fuck this game. But someone in marketing, or not marketing, someone in legal was like, hey, you announced this, and people probably bought systems based off of this. You don't follow through, we may have legal issues. Just throw some shit out, just to appease you all. Because like I said, it took nearly 10 years. And I believe the only reason it is on the Switch is because the original, let me clarify that. The original Switch is to make sure they don't get hit with false advertisement. Because that's what it was announced on. Before the Switch 2 was a thought, even in concept. This was announced for the Switch. To me, it's just subpar. It's 15 hours. And even though, some people are like, hey, shorter games, etc. And I'm all for shorter games, shorter price tags. 15 hours does not equate to $70. And I know some Nintendo fans are like, well, hey, I don't even want to hear it. I'm not going to be nice right now. I don't want to hear it because we can go to the conversation with you all are the same people that'll swear up and down GTA 6 to be $100 because of the content you're going to get in it. All right, stand by your words. If you're going to pay based on content, then this should be $20 then. If it's 15 hours of gameplay, it's a subpar game. Now, controls feel nice. It's a very nice graphic game. But me personally, I didn't care about that. I was waiting on Metroid Prime 2 and 3 to be remastered. So right now, you got one remaster on the market, and then you got Metroid Prime 4. Where's 2 and 3 at? Even though I've heard from people 2 and 3 is a little hit or miss, a little controversial. But to me, it's a subpar game. And you're going to have motherfuckers thinking this is the best thing since sliced bread, another Nintendo masterpiece, a la Breath of the Wild, and I'm just going to say, stop it, go sit down. And then they're even so bold to say, oh, it's not a first-person shooter. It's a first-person adventure. Hey, man, look here, we're not going to mince words. It is what it is. It's a first-person game, and you are
It
shooting stuff. It
it
is a first-person shooter.
switches. It switches.
Okay. Okay.
I
I'm done
mean,
here.
listen, you turn into the
I'm not gonna
ball,
play
you
these
turn into the
games.
ball, that's not first person. I mean, you do quote unquote switch,
You
but the
switch
main
on the Switch, and that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, are you not entertained?